Hello everyone, this is Big Boss Calvin 83, and this video, I'm just going to flat out say it. Like I said before in my previous videos, dear Caucasian people, stop with your white in denial. Stop with your white denial. Dear Caucasian people, stop with your white denial. Just stop it. Now, I said in the past, and I said in my previous videos, if you're not racist, don't defend racism. Because when you as a Caucasian person defend racism, you're telling on yourself, and you are making yourself out to be a racist. You are racist when you defend racism and you defend white privilege, and you try to deny it because you know it exists. I'm going to show you some stuff and a lot of examples in this video, so I don't know how long it's gonna be, but I'm going to try to get through it as fast as I can. This article. Now, this article, I was meaning to do a video on this individually, but I just didn't get around to doing it, so I'm going to do it right now. It pays to be white. Missouri student avoids jail after threat to shoot every black person I see. Here's your parasite. Just take a look. Take a look. A former...
Well, I watch the shows. I mean, I really see a lot of great,
watch. A former student at the University of Missouri threatened to shoot every black person I see on campus will not serve any prison time, reports the Columbia Daily Tribune. I'll read that again. A former student at the University of Missouri who threatened to shoot every black person I see on campus will not serve any prison time, reports the Columbia Daily Tribune. Hunter Park, age 20, was given a 3-year suspended sentence and 5 years probation for posting online threats against black students on the Missouri University campus following protests last November that led to the resignation. I think I said it right. Resignation of the student's president and chancellor. Last year, Missouri University President Tim Wool and the Chancellor R. Bowen Lefton both stepped down following the protest by African American students and threat to walk out by faculty over racist incidents on the campus. Riding the social media platform, Yik Yak Park posted, I'm going to stand my ground and shoot every black person I see, followed by some of you, I'll say it again, I'm sorry guys. I'm going to stand my ground and shoot every black person I see, followed by some of you, alright? Don't go campus to don't some of you alright, don't go to campus tomorrow. Maybe this person can't even talk right. As you see, I'm reading, so if you don't like, first of all, before I continue, if you don't like me reading these articles, go somewhere else. I'll say that again. Shit. I'm going to stand my ground and shoot every black person I see. Followed by, some of you, alright, don't go to campus tomorrow. As a result of Park's online threats, many Missouri University students did not attend class on November 11th, and several businesses in downtown Columbia closed for that day. Not everyone was happy with the slap on the wrist given to Park, with Tracy Wilson Kelkamp of local activists of group Race Matters Friends saying it pays to be white. There you go, right there. Caucasian supremacy. He's a Caucasian supremacist. He's a racist. Prosecutor Barack Jacobs said he accepts Judge Kevin King's decision while pointing out Parks has a history of making derogatory comments about black people. In an early online post, he called them to be shot, hanged, and burned. In some of the posts read in court, Park complained that some people dislike the wealthy, with the prosecutor nothing that Park is from an affluent St. Louis suburb. Affluency young male. Affluent young male. He's not a kid. He's 20 years old. You know better. This was physiological hatred on the part of the defendant, Jacobs told the judge. According to the authorities, this is not Park's first run-in with the law. Come on. In February 2015, police were contacted after he hung a Nazi flag off the balcony of his residence hall because, according to a police report, he thought his right to freedom of speech was being violated because of other students hung a Japanese flag on campus. He is a racist piece of shit. And that's all. I got more to say. Prime example of a scumbag. White privilege. I'm back. So basically these motherfuckers can make terroristic threats against people of color and get by with it. And you motherfuckers get mad at me when I said we can't be, that so-called black people can't be racist. Well, if we try to exercise any form of racism, we get put in jail. We lose our jobs. We get black the fuck bald. But you Caucasian people can practice your racism and get away with it and get off or get a slap on the wrist. That's when I'm talking about white privilege, and that's why I said we can't be racist. And when it comes to systematic racism, we don't own nothing. We don't control a goddamn thing. We don't own the law enforcement. The law enforcement is not controlled by us as people of color. Caucasian people own the law enforcement, own the military, run the government. They run these corporations run by them to decide who gets hired and who gets who doesn't get hired and who gets fired. Then, when it comes to loans, they decide who gets the loan. Excuse me. They decide who gets the loans. Excuse me. They decide who can have a loan and who doesn't have a loan. Who can be charged higher interest rates and who gets charged a cheaper rate. That is the systematic racism. So being called a cracker is not really a big thing when it comes to being called a nigger, because last time I checked, until we start killing Caucasian people on a higher rate and getting by with it, then y'all can talk about reverse racism. Y'all can miss me on that. You have to have wealth, power, and influence, and have a history of committing genocide and eradicating a group of people, stealing their land, stealing their resources to become a racist.
Is true to its roots.
That is racism.
News back here in Overland Park, where a police officer has just been fired over a controversial Facebook post.
41 Action News reporter Lexi Suter spoke with the Dallas woman whose daughter was targeted in this threatening post. Lexi.
Yeah, Rhiannon, this just happened in the last 30 minutes. Officer Rodney Wilson was fired. The chief here says they took swift action. They started investigating immediately when they realized he was not living up to their police standards. Now, I did talk to this woman he targeted. She's still very upset. Lenadra Williams and her 5-year-old daughter live in Dallas, and last night, as violence erupted in her city, she received an alarming and threatening Facebook notification from a man she's never met.
I felt horrified because I don't know these people, and then when I click on the guy's, Rodney Lee's picture, he's a cop.
Rodney Wilson is an Overland Park police officer. This screen grab shows a comment on a photo of 5-year-old India. It reads, "We'll see how much of her life matters soon enough. Be careful leaving info open where she can be found. Hold her close tonight. It'll be the last time."
For this guy to just come out of nowhere, just being disrespectful, and just, how can you be an officer? How can you, how? That's unacceptable for a police officer, for anyone, but especially for a police officer.
Williams immediately called Overland Park Police. In a Facebook post, the department confirms it is investigating and says it will not tolerate any form of discrimination or threats.
This beard
I know that you
is
can
fiercely
support
loyal.
officers and also be critical of them, and especially when, you know, in my everyday neighborhood, I see them all the time, and they have poor excuses for cops. I know that you can support officers and also be critical of them, and especially
confirms it is investigating.
You know, it's funny how they say we need to get all the facts, but he made a terroristic threat and he got by with it. As usual, he should be locked up in jail. It's a shame that he's threatening a child. I can't stand these motherfuckers with their God complex. But I'm going to finish the rest of the video.
And says it will not tolerate any form of discrimination or threats.
I know that you can support officers and also be critical of them, and especially when, you know, in my everyday neighborhood, I see them all the time, and they have poor excuses for cops like this who don't value our lives and have the audacity to publicly comment on my child's page, on my child's picture.
And I did call Ms. Williams back as soon as we got this news. She said the chief called her personally and was very apologetic for what's happened. Meantime, Officer Wilson's Facebook account and those posts have been deleted. Reporting live in Overland Park, Lexi Suter, 41 Action News.
Now we have another story. This is racism in 2016. It shows you that things have gotten worse instead of better. But you Caucasian people don't go through what we go through as people of color, but y'all want to be in the now. Well, I guess because you want to be on top.
You did not grow up with a Samsung fridge.
Well, you know what?
Pictures to help you shop. You did not grow up with an LG washer that handles tough and dangerous.
So I'm back. So another story where another person being hung again by these racist parasites, by these pale skin monkey motherfuckers. Caused the death of a man found hanging in Piedmont Park in Atlanta, Georgia. The Falcon County Medical Examiner has released official cause of death of the man found hanging in Piedmont Park. The report obtained by Channel 2 Action News states that the official release of death is asphyxiation, hanging, suicide, manner of death, which is bullshit. The mayor asked FBI to look into the death. Now let me say, before I even finish this article, if it was a cause of suicide, you don't need the FBI to do an investigation, but that's just another way to keep us docile and silent as people of color. They know this is a hate crime, but yet, since, like I said, since we as black people don't have no damn power in this damn country, and we don't stick together, they can do shit like this until we wake the fuck up and stop protecting these are so-called oppressors who are Caucasian people, and then you got these other groups of color who don't identify as so-called black, but they have this somewhere Caucasian supremacist mindset to hate so-called black people. We have no friends, y'all. Anybody that's my skin color, we have no damn friends. So stop trying to be friends with people who don't like you. Reading onward. According to the police report, an officer arrived at the park last Thursday morning in response to a call from a security officer, a man found hanging from a tree. Upon examining the body, police said it appeared an African-American man was tied by a white rope to a thick branch of tree around his neck and hanged himself. Get the fuck out of here. He didn't hang himself. Watch feds investigate the death of a man found hanging in Piedmont Park. Immediately after the death, Atlanta Mayor Kism Reed, which is a handkerchief-headed Negro peon, asked the FBI to investigate the hanging after social media fueled suspicion that a man died. According to the medical examiner, the victim has been identified as Michael George Smith Jr., 22, of New Jersey. Now, moving on, going to show you more stuff. Then we got another incident. Cops walk off the job at a WNBA game at the place wore Black Lives Matter shirts. You know, before I even go any further, to you racist motherfuckers, y'all created Black Lives Matter. You know, so, and when I said all lives matter was a joke, it's because it don't include so-called black people. It doesn't include us. It's only for Caucasian people and feminists, gays, anything that's Caucasian owned. So that's why I said it's a joke. Because it doesn't deal with other ethnic groups. Y'all don't give a fuck about us. So stop lying. Y'all created the Black Lives Matter. Y'all created these movements. Y'all discriminated against us to the point where we have to get our own stuff and get our own shit in order to survive out in this racist ass country known as America Kick a Cup, free case. In the wake of Philando Castile and Arthur Sterling killings, at the hands of police last week, there have been Black Lives Matter protests all across the country. Tensions between the black community and law enforcement are arguably the highest they've ever been in a handful of years, especially considering the ambush-style shooting in Dallas protests left 5 cops dead following the Castile and Sterling incidents. On Monday night, members of the WNBA Minnesota Lynx addressed those tensions and called and the racial profiling as the last result. Police officers assigned to work the team's game quit on the spot. Good riddance. 4 off-duty Minneapolis police officers working at the Minnesota Lynx game at Target Center on Saturday night, walked off the job after the players held a news conference announcing racial profiling, then wore Black Lives Matter pregame warm-up jerseys. Lieutenant Bob Kroll, I think that's how you say the name, president of the Minneapolis Police Federation, the union that represents rank and file officers, praised them for quitting. I commend them for it, he said. Prior to the game, Lynx players wore black t-shirts that read "Change starts with us, justice and accountability." Then on the back, the shirts displayed Philando Castro's and Alton Sterling's names, along with Black Lives Matter and a Dallas police emblem. I'll read this tiny print right here. If we take the time to see that this human issue and speak out together, we can greatly decrease the fear and create change. Tonight, we will be wearing shirts to honor and mourn the losses of precious American citizens and plead for a change in all of us. Rebecca Bronson. Lynx forward Rebecca Bronson stated that the team was wearing the shirts to honor and mourn the loss of precious American citizens and plead change for all of us, despite the fact that the players also honored the officers and loss of the Dallas and called the senseless ambush. The Minnesota PD officers were not happy about the message the Lynx players were trying to send regarding law enforcement. Kroll criticized Lynx players for citing false narratives in the past 2 years, some allegations of the police misconduct in killing black people were refuted. Rushing to judgment before the facts were unwarranted reckless, he said. You racist piece of shit, man. You. Back to the article. Police sign up for off-duty jobs to work in Lynx games, Kroll said. They can start to stop a job wherever they want. He said they are working independent contract. Asked about a report that 7 or 8 officers had walked off the job, Kroll said they only have 4 officers working in the event because the Lynx have such a prophetic draw. Well, that petty shot of the Lynx's attendance numbers seemed a little unnecessary, but we are in. But here we are. I mean. I want to show you something else now. Come on. More racial profiling, if you're wondering. Sticking her nose where it doesn't fucking belong. Because a group of black people were barbecue, and she had this old bitch, racist bitch, had a problem with it. Hate people like that, nosy motherfuckers.
See, she got binoculars.
Watch this parasite make a false rape accusation against his brother, trying to get him in jail and get him lynched.
See, she got binoculars.
Attack! Attack! Oh, I'm being raped! I'm being raped! Oh, help me, somebody!
Did y'all see that? That woman just said rape. Did it make you feel good to say, because I'm black, that I was coming to rape you? I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a question. When I was approaching you,
I was not approaching you.
I'm going to ask you a question.
I'm not approaching you.
When I was approaching you, did I approach you with my phone out? So if I'm approaching you with my phone out, what would make you think that I'm coming to rape you?
I don't know.
Because she was watching us with binoculars while we're over there grilling. Why is she sitting out here on the porch with binoculars out in her hands, watching us and the family while we're grilling?
What are you afraid that I'm going to see with my binoculars?
You're not going to see anything with your binoculars.
Well, then why are you approaching me?
I'm coming up to you to ask you, because I'm asking you, why do you have your binoculars out watching us barbecue? Why are you watching us?
You've been out there all afternoon.
So why are you watching us?
Because I'm paying attention for my own safety.
Racist bitch, please. If that man wants to grow with his family, let him. So because she saw a bunch of people of color together growing, she felt threatened. See, that's the racism I'm talking about. Let's show you something. This is my final example to hit the nail in the coffin.
Hold on. I'm going live on Facebook right now. Because the Joy was standing by the little drink booth, and they got upset. She got upset and started cursing. And so I told her to be respectful.
She said what?
I told her to be respectful.
The Joy?
Huh?
The lady?
Yeah, I told the lady to be respectful, and she started going off on me, and the husband started going off.
What did they say to you?
Huh? They told me to shut the F up, and the husband was talking to the husband. So I'm about to record them and put them on Facebook so everybody in San Antonio can know. Sit down. No, sit down.
She told you to shut the fuck up?
Yeah. Her and her husband.
Both of them told you?
Yeah, these two right here. Look, I'm about to show you. Hi. So Facebook, this is what racist people look like. Being disrespectful for no reason.
Hi Facebook.
Say
My
hi
name
because
is
you're going to go
James.
viral. You're going to go viral. You're going to go viral. You're going to go viral.
Shut the fuck
No,
up,
you
bitch.
shut the fuck up.
No. The fuck
You
away
shut
from
the
here.
fuck up. No.
Nobody give a fuck.
You got to show people what these people
Don't
are
be
like.
disrespectful. Fuck out of my face.
Don't be
disrespectful. Fuck out of my face.
Fuck
you.
My face.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Racist.
Goddamn
That's
niggers.
what racism looks like.
You're a nigga.
That's what racism
You're a
looks
nigga.
like.
You're a fucking nigga.
You're a
You're a
nigga.
nigga.
Don't
see.
There's no need
You're a
for that.
nigga.
There's no need
What?
for that.
Bitch, that's how you act.
We're on live. No, it's okay. Mom, no.
Come on.
Mom, no. This is what racism looks like.
Bring
This
it.
is what racism
Bring
looks
it.
like.
Bring it.
All
Bring
lives
it.
matter.
I will mop your ass with the floor. I will mop your ass with the
All
floor.
lives matter. Come on, Mom.
Let's go.
All lives
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. That's what I'm trying to find out.
That's all you know.
All she said was excuse me. That's right.
That's not what she said.
You kicked her out.
That's not what
She
she said.
turned around and said she's just a kid.
She's
15 years old. It don't matter. Oh, nobody said anything to the 15-year-old
You
kid.
said fuck her.
No, she didn't.
And the first thing you ever say is call her a nigger. For no reason. Fuck you, hunky.
Fuck you.
You're a hunky.
I could be a hunky,
Oh, fuck
motherfucker.
you.
Be a cracker,
And you're a nigger.
It don't fucking matter.
You guys
Africa. I was born here. I was born here.
This is what it looks
I was born right here in America.
Wow.
Never from Africa. I don't know no receipt. I don't know your no receipt. Your ancestors got, but y'all don't have no receipt. No receipt for it.
My ancestors
no receipt. No receipt.
My ancestors
no receipt, bitch. No receipt, bitch.
That's enough. That's enough.
No receipts.
Because we're niggers. We're not
making a fool. You're probably racist.
I said both of you are making a fool.
Mom, that's enough.
You're not making shit. Let's go.
Elder man, bitch.
I don't give a fuck who he is.
People don't belong.
Fuck all y'all.
Black people don't belong in America, though. You know, look at it.
And I want a goddamn refund. Go get my receipt.
This is what racism looks like, guys. Isn't it beautiful?
But you said let us act ignorant. They started it. They started it. They started it.
We're monkeys.
Come over here. Come over here. You're going to get the ass woman of a lifetime.
Make a fool of yourself.
I promise.
Make a fool of yourself.
You come over here, that's your ass.
You touch her and you're going to jail. So there's no point in touching her. I recorded.
Goddamn 15 years old cussing her out.
And a pregnant woman at that.
Go get me a receipt so I can get my money back.
You know, that's what.
Go get my receipt.
Because, you know, we're monkeys. That's what we're monkeys, guys. We're monkeys. That's what they call us. They call us monkeys and niggers when nobody's paying attention. You know, I had to record it, let y'all see, because it's real in San Antonio too. For everyone who thinks it's not real, it's real in San Antonio. So, just so y'all know, it is real out here. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find my mom's credit card so she can get a receipt and we can go, like, y'all. No, that's the problem though, you can't fight them. You can't fight these people, because that's how you end up in jail. Can't fight these people. There's no point in fighting them. But yeah. Just so y'all know, racism is real out here.
And she is correct. You know, you people, you know who you are. Y'all think y'all can do whatever you want to us, and we're not supposed to say nothing. Well, we're not the going on to get along generation. Them days are over. You know, that's all I gotta say. Anybody who wants to defend this shit and try to justify it, you are the real racist. And that's all I gotta say about peace. You watch this last clip.
Why do we hate?
We hate because we're taught to hate. We hate because we're ignorant. We're the product of ignorant people who have been taught an ignorant thing, which is that there are 4 or 5 different races. There are not 4 or 5 different races. There's only one race on the face of the earth, and we're all members of that race, the human race. But we have separated people into races so that some of us can see ourselves as superior to the others. We thought it would work, I guess. It hasn't worked. It has been bad for everyone. But it's time to get over this business. There is no gene for racism. There's no gene for bigotry. You're not born a bigot. You have to learn to be a bigot. Anything you learn, you can unlearn. It's time to unlearn our bigotry. It's time to get over this thing, and we best get over it pretty soon. I'm an educator, and it is my business as an educator to lead people out of ignorance. The ignorance of thinking that you're better or worse than someone else because of the amount of a pigment in your skin. Pigmentation in your skin has nothing to do with intelligence or with your worth as a human being. It's time to get over it.
Peace.